Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and this is the third part of my Yale mini-series, just because we had some Yale padlocks lying around. These two were lent to me by fellow picker Yukov, the Y12140 and what I think is a Yale 840 bronze padlock. This took me a little long to pick, although to be fair neither of them took me too long on camera. This one took me a bit longer just because the keyway is quite tight in there. I found it difficult to actually get under the pins to pick those spools once they had fallen into a false set. This is a vastly better made and more expensive padlock, and it's got a removable core, so depends on what type of security you want. Then you've got two different types of lock to buy, and this obviously is used being bronze padlocks in environments where you don't want sparks. These are non-sparking padlocks. So moving on from these, let's have a look at their big brother. This is one of my padlocks. It's the Yale 851, and it's a lovely big lump of brass, very heavy, probably weighs about 400 or 500 grams, somewhere around just a pound or just over, somewhere around yeah, a pound or so in weight, maybe a little less. I think we should have a bit of a go at picking it. It's let's have a look at the keys. I forgot last time to look at the key on the 840, but this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pin lock, I think. Yep. But the tolerances are very high in this, so it's a relatively hard pick. At least in my opinion it is. And just going to lower that into my vise, tighten it up. And just comparing the keyways between this and its little brother, you can see that this doesn't have a piece of warding to pick off here, but like this one does there. But nevertheless, there's plenty of room in it, so I can use bottom of the keyway, which is my personal favourite. And I'm going to be careful which pick I choose. Let's take this out for now. This Sparrow's Eurohook, which is one of my favourite, as you know, it can't quite push the pins all the way up because of the warding. So I probably will use my Peterson's Gem 18,000ths, which can get up and push those pins all the way to the top. So you see that this one can get right under those pins, while something like the Southwold Max would have to stop somewhere around there. You can see it just can't move all the way up, and the Sparrow's Eurohooks probably perform slightly better, but still not getting that pin all the way to the top. So sometimes it does matter a couple of thousandths of an inch in the steel. You can see the one at the bottom is a little thinner. It does make a difference on some locks. Okay. So without further ado, let's have a go at picking this. By the way, again, this is a removable core, and like its little brother, you can access the core by unlocking it, undoing the grub screw, then some screws on the inside which drop out this fixing here, which has an anti-drill ball bearing in. Then you can drop out the plate, and on the inside is a removable core which you can repin. I personally don't do that with my locks, and there are some great YouTubers out there who do. I believe that there's a YouTuber called Pete Restall who has a lock similar if not identical to this, where he does a picking guts video. So go check out his YouTube channel. Right, so let's have a go at picking. Light tension, it's going on the pin, so 5, little click on 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. I think we've just gone into a bit of a false set there. Probably can't see much core turn, but certainly the core moved, a reasonable amount, I'd say. So, and just by putting the pick in, it's moved even further. So, looks like we've got a spool in there, or a couple of spools to have a go at finding. Let's just go all the way to the back and see what we get. 5, 4, 3, doesn't want to move. 2, and we on 1. I think we're on 1. Yeah, we're on 1. But I might have to manually move the core. It's quite a heavy core, this one, so I might have to manually move it just so I can manipulate pin 1 a little bit there. But be careful manually moving a core back into a full set. So 1's picked now, so who else is there? 5, it feels like 5. Again, let's move that core back carefully. I think we've lost the full set. Here we have, so let's give it a little wiggle, see if we can get that back. Might just reset and try again. Shouldn't take too long to get back to where we were. So light tension 5, 4 doesn't want to go, 3, 2, and 1. Feel something on 1. So again, this needs a bit of manual manipulation. It seems to get pick 1, go in, fall into the full set. So somebody is a gatekeeper there. And we're open. There we go. So it was worth just going back and checking. So it was 5 needed to be pushed up very high, but by pushing 5 up very high, I think the first time I overset 5 in my haste to get the lock picked. Once I reset, it dropped into a full set quite quickly. So pin 5 and pin 1 felt very, very deep, and was certainly spools as well. Let's have a look at the key and see if that's about right, shall we? Oh, there we go. So what do we have? So, okay, one doesn't need to be pushed too high. So 2 and 5 certainly very deep. But it was hanging on 1 and 5. You can see how high 5 is, and it's right at the back of the lock. So you can imagine getting a pick in. You know, if you're trying to push this pin really high, you might just push it past where it needs to be and overset it. Maybe even oversetting pin 4 in the process. So something like that probably happened to me when I was picking it the first time. But once, you know, just relax, start again, and quite often the second time's quicker. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that. That's the end of the little Yale mini-series. Thanks again to UCOF for the loan of the Y121 and the Y40, and this big 851 is mine. So I'll see you next time.